Wow, comedy, tragedy is comedy.
Tragedy is comedy.
Yeah.
So you have to get to a high place. Higher you are, the further you drop.
I think, for example, when I do stand-up comedy classes, I always ask for people to write down what is it, something that's been very traumatizing or very awful that they've gone through, that when they think of it now, they laugh about it.
Okay, then how much time is that? I mean, do you give them enough time? Like, say something happened last year, like
It's something you already got over it. For example, I remember one time when I was very, very young, I was traumatized by the fact that when I went to summer camp, girls would come to me and say, "Oh, I don't play with you. You're fat. You're ugly. You stink. You're sweaty." Because I was a kid who liked to play. So now every time I say that, I laugh about it, because the last time one of those girls said something to me like that, I said, "It's not that I stink, it's that your mouth is too close to your nose. Ooh. So what you're smelling is your mouth stink." So I remember that from being bullied to becoming the bully to overcome that, for me now it's a joke, but when I was young, when I was a kid, it was very traumatizing. So for me, tragedy at a certain point can become comedy. That's the type of comedy at least I want to see, and it's maybe the hero suffer, and when he overcomes that, you have pure gold, comedy gold. I love stand-up comedy. That's why, because people talk about how much they suffered. So
do you find comedy to be defensive? Like, if people like bullying you, do you use comedy as a defense to like laugh it off and make them laugh?
I think that comedians, many of those comedians or many comedians around the world would use being bullied, would use comedy, I don't know, like to change the I'm a victim to become somebody who overcame that bully. Sometimes people will dwell on that instead of doing something about it. So for me, what helped me overcome that, people make fun of me because I'm fat, because I'm getting bald, because I have a bad knee, of many things. Of the fact that I eat a lot.
Join your club.
You're worse. Nah. But I think that many people make fun of me, so I have to deal with that. So I have to decide, do I become a victim? Or do I use that as energy to keep laughter alive, or to keep myself with high energy and high motivation? Or do I let that affect me? So that's why, again, that tragedy will become comedy for me. For every bad situation, I try to put it into comedy, not to avoid it, but because I choose to transform it. That for me, good comedy can come from bad, awful situations. Yeah, I was being bullied, and there was a thing in school that they would take your backpack and they would throw it. Like, they will steal your backpack and they will throw it out in a river, in the school, or somewhere. Like, they will hide it from you. And I remember that when I was very young, they did that to me. And I saw the people who did it, and I saw where they throw it. So I would stay calm, and I waited till lunchtime to go and look for my backpack. The thing is that when I went there, everybody in school knew that somebody got my backpack and threw it out, and in a place where there was a lot of grass and trees, and it was very far. So the people from the place where we would have lunch and the other classrooms, they would start going out to see where I was going to look for the backpack. And when I saw it, I decided that I was going to play a very typical dramatic scene where I would get my backpack and try to resuscitate it by giving mouth to mouth, and I would give it CPR. I would be like, no. And when I was looking back and I turned around with the backpack, I had most of the school going like, whoa, yeah, and laughing. And I realized that at that moment, like years later, I realized that moment I made it an opportunity instead of a tragedy for me. So it's kind of an improv thing. I use that instead of being the victim as a thing. I became the hero, as we could say that, for many people that were going through that moment, making the best out of it.
Do you have heroes?
Oh, definitely. Bill Murray.
Comic heroes.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Forever and ever. Peace and love, Bill Murray. I love you forever and ever.
Have you ever met him? Have you ever met him?
One time, but not personally. But I was on 8th Street, 8th and 42nd. There was like in New York, there was like a grocery store nearby. I went to get a drink, and when I go in, when I go get a drink, I'm opening the fridge, I'm taking the drink, and when I look like on the corner of the eye, I see this guy that he goes, opens, gets something, open it, drinks, close it, puts it back, closes, and I'm like, when I look, I say, oh my God, that's Bill Murray, and he goes like,
to you.
And he goes around and he leaves, and I'm like, and then years later, I saw that there's a web page that talks about those encounters with Bill Murray in the world.
So you wrote it?
No, but
I should post it.
But I read a lot of them, and I'm like, oh.
Saturday Night Live. That is, I think, it looks like Bill Murray. Is that Bill Murray over there? Yeah, that's Bill Murray. We'll be back.